What's up, people? I am back here for another closing post-market update. Want to run through a couple of my calls this morning. As you can see, this is crude. We've bounced and rejected this low of what is this? This is February of 16. We've rejected that trend pretty significantly, in my opinion. If you can zoom into the 2 hour, you can really kind of see how you had the break and kind of consolidation beforehand. Then we had the dump in the test, and investors brought it right back up. We'll see where that goes tomorrow. The markets are closed in oil. Let's pull up the SPYs real quick and run through that. I've been keeping an eye on all the pivot points as of the last couple of days. Those are going to come into play over the next probably couple of weeks. So if you can zoom in, we again tested this 2-day pivot from yesterday, failed again, so we're above that level, which is a good sign in my opinion. I think investors are sitting on their hands, kind of waiting for the next slew of Trump executive orders or whatever is going to happen in North Korea. There's a lot in the lines right now. The volume is down significantly as well. It's something that I noticed today. I don't have a good chart of it, but we're basically 15 minutes left in the day, and we've traded half the amount of shares as we did the last basically week. So volume's down, trading's down. I think the trend-based environment is over for now. I think we chop around, wait for some sort of other macroeconomic catalyst to hit the tape, and that's probably going to send us either to all-time highs or back down into this range. Maybe even test the next pivot down, which is in the 237, and then the 236, and then 233. So there's a lot of room to go. A lot of things can happen. This morning's video, I had someone ask me to kind of run through a couple of futures contracts. I'm not a futures trading expert. It's definitely something that I follow. I have some experience trading futures, not as much as I do stocks or options. But I'm going to try to do my best to kind of just walk you through what I think the most important aspects of a future contract are. So basically what a futures contract is, it's just an agreement typically made on a trading floor or a futures exchange to buy or sell a particular commodity or financial instrument at a predetermined price at a specified time in the future. So you're buying the right to own something in the future. It's that simple. So with that being said, let's jump into a couple of contracts, because the weird thing with futures is they all trade differently for the most part. The wheats, the oils, the corns, the soys, take oil out of that, I'm sorry. So soy, corn, and wheat generally trade the same. So for my first example, I pulled up just regular soybean futures. These are a little different from corn and wheat. They let me explain it this way. So there's a contract unit, and the contract unit on soybean futures is 5,000 bushels. So one contract bought of soybean futures entitles you to 5,000 bushels of soy. So the first thing you need to know when trading futures is your contract size. So this is 5,000 bushels. So each tick, each move is 1 point, and that 1 point is equal to $10. So the tick value is $10. So for each contract you own, each tick is $10. So if you own 10, each tick is $100. So that's how things kind of stack up. And if you can see the daily on this, it's not really telling you much, but we can pull over to a monthly and we can see how this 900 level is clear support. Clear support. We've tested this over years, literally years. And you can even make an argument that maybe 15.5, 1600, even 1500 could be resistance. We're clearly at the bottom of that range. Quote me if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, but I believe soybeans tend to go and are in favor and are harvested in May and June along with wheat and corn. So we're at more of a seasonably low production time frame right now with soy. I don't necessarily think that there's a lot of demand. Once that harvest picks up, then maybe there's an argument to be made that soy goes higher. But I'm not the expert on that. I don't understand the fundamentals as well as others do. But from soy, let's jump over to corn, which is also another very heavily traded contract. So if we pull up corn, we're looking at almost the same chart as soybean. So we see some clear support around 350, and we see some clear resistance around, what is this? around, what do you think, 750, 800 maybe? So let's put a line up there. Let's put some support down here. So you can really kind of see the channel that we've been trading in over the last 10 years. With corn, I believe it's with wheat as well. I know that the United States is the largest producer of corn in the world. Wheat, I think we only have 10 or 15% of the market. I think the rest comes from Russia and China. But corn and soybean, and anything soy, that's America's business right there. So those are the contracts that are traded most. And with the futures markets in general, it's broken down into obviously speculators and hedgers. I believe the hedging takes more market share away from the speculators. The futures market really is designed to provide protection. It just so happened that it's just another tradable asset that speculators are able to wrap their minds around and start to trade profitably. So we have corn up on the chart now. So corn, there we go. Corn ticks in quarter pennies. So each tick, each move is a quarter of a cent. So you know what I mean? 25% of 1 cent, and each contract entitles you to 5,000 bushels of corn, which your tick value then becomes $12.50. So for each contract you own, each tick in your direction or against your direction costs you $12.50. So you can see how buying 1,000 futures contracts, the tick values really add up. And it's recommended to even trade mini contracts. So there's the S&P minis, I'm sure you heard, the Dow minis. Those are half size, so the margins are much less, and you're able to access them if you're not a millionaire investor or have an account with a lot of money in it. From, what is this? This is corn. So from corn, let's jump over to hogs real quick. A lot of people find it funny that you can literally trade pigs. Back in the day, you used to be able to trade pork bellies, but that was a whole different ball game. That was in the 80s, I believe, or the 90s. It was way before my time. So I can't really speak on that behalf. But hogs is a weird one. So the contract size is 40,000 pounds. So one hog contract entitles you to 40,000 pounds of pigs. It ticks in 2.5 cent increments, and those tick values are $10. So one contract, one tick, $10. Very simple. If you can see, it's not even necessarily a great chart. I don't really necessarily understand the seasonality behind growing and slaughtering pigs. I believe it takes like 6 months, but it's crazy to think that there are people out there calculating, returns and portions based upon, so if I have this many pigs and I kill them in this many days, I can make this much money in the futures market. It's just not something that I follow that regularly. It's definitely a sign of the overall strength and health of the overall economy. That being said, it's just not something that I have defined an edge in, so I tend to stay away. So I think I've covered all I wanted to cover. We talked about the SPYs, we talked about crude, and then we ran through a couple of futures contracts. I hope this was kind of a decent understanding as to what the hell a futures contract is and how they trade. I only really talked about the couple of really big names. So there are others out there. There are futures on currencies. There are futures on stocks. There are so many investable asset classes now and vehicles that I almost feel like they do that to water down the retail investors so that they can't really get a good foothold into the entire market, because an informed populace is not a good thing. The stock market is not in the business of informing the world on their practices, because then that takes away their advantage in exploiting that. So if you like the video, please comment down below, like it. If I've said or did anything wrong, please comment down below and tell me how I messed up. Let's see if we can get some follow through tomorrow on the SPYs. That'd be great. I know the entire world is sitting there watching our markets run. Let's see if we can hold this level. If we can, I don't see why there's not an argument to be made for us cracking all-time highs, maybe even this week. Let's see where we go from here, guys. Thanks for watching. Build the wall.